Hi everyone, it's Wednesday the 5th of August, a blistering hot day, and I'm back up the river for another session, and this time I'm fishing, well it's 5 to 11 now, so I'm going to be fishing from now about midday roughly up until about 8:30, 9 o'clock. We'll see how it pans out just as it's starting to get dark. I want to see if it's any better fishing here as the light's fading, because normally, as you know, I normally come up here morning and fish to the early afternoon, but I'm off work now for the rest of this month, so should be able to get a few sessions in, and this is the first of them. And I'm up here today on a stretch. I've fished up here a couple of times. A bit further down is when I had that carp session, my one and only carp session. Didn't do any good, but anyway. And I fished down there a bit further and had a mixed species session, but today we're up here on this bit which I've been looking at several times. I'm not actually fishing yet, as I say. Just going to have a cup of tea first. And the thing is, they do actually give a chance of a bit of patchy rain later on today, believe it or not, this evening. But we'll see how it goes. I'm definitely here till 8:30 anyway, no doubt about that. Yeah, I'm quite interested in seeing how this performs, because I've copied it exactly the same as what Nick at Avon Angling does his setup on one of his videos, with a bit of rubber tubing, look, feeder, and it's attached to this. I won't take it out, but it's attached to this here. A little clip inside there, and I'll be interested to see how it performs. It's not the normal way I fish with the feeder, so hopefully it'll come up trumps, but we'll see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with the link ledger out here to my right. That's the link ledger. And I'll probably have a bit of bread flake on there to start off with. Might even go corn. Actually. And then this with the ground bait, of course. And I might have a couple of red maggots on there to start off with. And we'll sort of change it around as the day goes on. Right, we're actually fishing now. I don't have the camera can pick that out. Oh, some carriage just gone by. Lovely stuff. Don't know what you're going to see in the countryside, I tell you, it's lovely up here. Well, we're off the mark with this little fella. Little roach. Only a small one. That's on the feeder. Great stuff. Here we are. Oh! Catch something a bit bigger. Well, it's always nice to get off the mark, albeit with a small roach. I'm having a bit of trouble setting the tripod up here today because it's awkward. Also, I'm not sure what this camera's going to be like once the light starts fading. Don't think it's got a setting on it for night time, so or once the light's faded. But we'll see how it goes anyway. That roach was on a couple of red maggots. I've got bread flake on the link ledger. And I've got a couple of grains of corn now on the feeder. See if I can give you a better shot of what this looks like. Okay, look, there's some bubbles down there. We've got and roach number 2. This is a bit bigger, again on the feeder. A couple of red maggots. Well, it's 2 o'clock now and still at the moment a 2 roach. Oh, touch on that one. Be interesting to see if once the light starts to fade whether the breams start moving in. That's what I'm hoping. What I might do, I might scale down on the hook size on this one. think I will actually. Oh, I've always seen one of those fish before. I'm gonna scale down on the hook size. I've scaled down to a size 18 hook now on the link ledger. Had a half decent bite just now on the feeder on this left hand rod, but I missed it, whatever it was. Well, an absolute bloody nightmare this is. I've already bought one river ambush rod, and the end piece, the end tip has snapped, and now it's happened to a second rod. Look, I wasn't even doing anything. I was just bringing it in, pulled the rod up to rebait it up again, and noticed that the end piece had snapped off. I'll tell you, mate, I'm never going to buy these rods again, and I don't recommend them. I really do not recommend them at all after this. I thought one, maybe, you know, but not twice. Two different, you know, two rods. That's really bad, that is really bad. You know, alright, they're only 30 quid, but, you know, you expect something better than that for your money. That's terrible. Look, the tip's come off. Snapped off. That's the second one I've had now. Bloody unbelievable, isn't it? Oh well. As I say, don't buy the river ambush rods. They're not worth the money. I know they're only 30 quid, but I've had two, and both of them have snapped, doing literally nothing. The end piece is snapped off. I'm going to carry on with it, but anyway, nothing else has happened yet, but I'll keep you posted if it does. (6:15) now, and still absolutely nothing. I've had one or two fish topping or jumping, but nothing doing here yet. Been using this rod here with the broken tip on it. For me, it feels like a football team playing with an injured player. They've used all their subs and they can't bring anyone else on, and that's how I feel with this. I mean, it's still usable as it is, but it's, you know, it's not, I don't like using it like that. But if I want to use two rods, I've got no choice. I haven't got another rod with me. I certainly won't be buying these again, that's for sure, and I won't be recommending them to anyone either. I thought they were quite good, you know, they look good. But they're so suspect at the end of the tip end of the rod. You can't have that. I'll probably go back to using the rods I've always used. I think I've always Yeah, I've been alright with them. Yeah, it's just that sometimes if you're in a tight swim, it can be a bit tricky, but I think I'll go back to using them. You know, it's sometimes it's best to use what you've always used and fish the way you've always fished, rather than go by what others do. You know, it might work for some people in other places, but it doesn't always work for you. And I've tried a few things that others have done and they're successful with it, but I don't think it's for me. And I think next time I shall bear that in mind and just go back to fishing the way I've always fished, which is, you know, just basic, really simple. I've got something a bit different lined up for the next session, which will probably be one day next week. And then I'm itching to have a float fishing session. I really am. And I shall probably have a float fishing session somewhere the week after. I'm not sure where yet. I was really hoping that this was going to be extra special on this spot, but it hasn't worked out that way. But there's still time. It's dead as a dodo out there at the moment, and it has been for most of the time. I had those couple of small roach in the first hour or two this morning. I had a little period around 5 o'clock where I had 2 or 3 bites, and but after that it's gone dead again. Right, anyway, I'll get back to you if anything else happens. Well, it's 7:10 now. And absolutely zilch at the moment. I've put a lobworm on now on this right hand side rod. I've got a cheesy garlic pellet on the left hand side rod. Absolutely nothing happening at all. I'm probably going to give it till 8 o'clock, 15:15 maybe at the most, and then that'll be my lot. Been a few small fish topping, but little one down there. I expected things to start happening about now. Anyway, but an hour's fishing left. Well, what I'm going to do, it's what is it? It's 7:45 now, and I'll give it another 10-15 minutes. If nothing happens then I'm packing up. I'm slowly packing up now anyway, so if you don't hear from me anymore, it's been a really tricky session. Really has. Disappointing. I've been very disappointed because I thought it would have been good up there, but it hasn't worked out that way. Not today anyway, but maybe better luck next time. Thanks for watching anyway, and I'll see you on the next one.